We could all rise for a moment of silence. Thank you. If you could turn and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. All right, we'll start with a roll call of council members.
Lehman.
Here.
Kodak.
Here.
Cassidy.
Here.
Baker.
Here.
Grine. Mendoza.
Here.
Guernsey.
Here.
Move to excuse Councilperson Grine.
Second.
We have a motion by Mendoza, a second by Baker to excuse council member Grine. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Kodak.
Yes.
Cassidy.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Mendoza.
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Councilmember Grine is excused. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Mendoza, a second by Lehman to approve the previous meeting minutes. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Cassidy.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Mendoza.
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Kodak.
Yes.
All righty, those have been approved. Under communications, do you have any?
I have none.
I will communicate here then the agenda for this evening. The one that you were mailed on by email on Sunday night has a duplicate ordinance for the adopting and amending the 2025-83. The version that's at the podium at the front of the room has the removal of that duplication. So that will be the agenda we're following this evening. So if you see two 2025-83s on your agenda that you printed out, one of them is a duplication. So any questions on that? All right. And then we'll move into the report on committees. The Finance Committee.
Finance Committee met just briefly this evening. Due to the fact that the Finance Director was absent, we didn't have financials. He did pass word through the Safety Service Director that we could expect another appropriations modification in March due to some expenses that were not included related to Foundation Park. The committee also discussed the preparation of interview questions for the upcoming interviews to take place for the Finance Director. And the next regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, March 17th, 5:30 p.m. in council chambers.
Just in addition, if any other council members have any questions they want to submit to Sue
Sure.
for the finance director interview, we're not leaving you out.
All right. Thank you. Public Affairs Committee.
Upcoming community meals included a drive-through dinner hosted by High Street Methodist Church located at 243 West High Street on Tuesday, February 24th at 4:30 p.m. Ongoing meals include breakfast every Sunday at 9:30 at Fostoria Church of God, dinner every Wednesday at 6 p.m. at Trinity United Brethren Church, and dinner every Thursday at 5 p.m. at Fostoria Church of God. Additionally, there will be a food distribution this Saturday, February 21st from 8:30 to 10 a.m. at First Presbyterian Church in Findlay, as well as another food distribution on Thursday, February 26th at 1 p.m. at First Lutheran Church in Tiffin. Lastly, UAW Local 2021 will be hosting its 4th annual Black History Month movie night, honoring Jesse Owens on February 28th at 7 p.m. at the Union Hall located at 1675 North Union Street. The event will feature the film Race, based on the incredible true story of one man's journey to become an Olympic legend. Thank you. That is all.
Thank you. Law and Ordinance Committee.
The Law and Ordinance Committee met this evening. Approval of the February 3rd minutes and appointment of a chair were deferred to the next meeting. A resident requested no parking on Elmhurst Drive which remains open for further consideration. Additionally, although the approach is unorthodox, the proposed portable storage container ordinance scheduled for its first reading this evening remains open under the Law and Ordinance Committee for review. The Law and Ordinance Committee will meet again on Tuesday, March 3rd at 5:15 in council chambers. Thank you.
Thank you. Report of officers, Mr. Mayor.
I have no report.
Thank you. Director of Public Service and Safety.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do my best to bring you up on the ongoing saga of the sweeper that had the little fire a few months ago. We're getting closer to a resolution. As you know, MTech had let us borrow one from them for quite a while. So now there's some emails going back and forth. They will be bringing us a new one. I believe our insurance settlement has worked itself out, and there's still different inspectors coming and going and inspecting the old one, but it looks like somewhere in the first part of March, they'll be sending us a brand new one, very similar to the one you've seen driving around and the one that had the fire, but the details through Sutton Bank will be the same as what they were with the original sweeper. So getting closer to the resolution, having a brand new sweeper and getting this whole thing cleared up. And I just want to bring you up to speed as best I could at this point. So that's all I have for right now.
Thank you. Director, oh, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Have they come up with any kind of a cause for that?
I have not heard a direct cause just yet. There was a lot of theories, but through all the inspections, I hope at some point there's a final report, but we've not been given anything yet of what caused the actual fire. It was a beauty though.
So we are getting a brand new one.
Yes, we will get a brand new one
One
with
that
no
we're
hours on
leasing.
it. And the one that they loaned us was a demo model of theirs. And so when we do actually put that back on the Sutton Bank, the loan that we had to buy it, it'll be a brand new one with no hours on it.
And are we getting billed for anything for the one we're borrowing?
Well, I didn't think so.
Continuing lease payments.
Yeah, only thing we did was continue lease payments as this whole thing continued on. I think that's probably the only thing you'll see. It didn't change any of the lease agreements. They were nice enough to bring on that loaner down and let us use it and just continue the payments on the old one.
So it's really going to end up a clean sweep.
Pretty much so. Pretty much so, Greg. Nicely put. Very nice. Thank you.
Sweeping under the rug.
I was going to ask a question, but I'm not going to follow that.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the Director of Law.
Fair.
I have no report tonight.
Thank you. Director of Finance is absent, so we'll move into the public portion. We'll ask Deb Tyson to come up and welcome back and limit your comments to 10 minutes or less.
Okay, I'll do my best. I did want to point out that I was very happy with the way 2025 went. I do have some concerns, which I started at 3:00 today addressing them before meeting. And they are in the works. For example, like I found out the green space or most of downtown is mowed by the city, but I'd like to know who monitors the sidewalks. We had a bad snowstorm and we have warm weather, but it's really not legal to walk in the middle of the street. But I chose the lesser of that and did it anyway and there was nobody oversight seeing that I'm walking down Lytle Street, which that's pretty dangerous. My concern is if it's the length of a building in front of a sidewalk on Lytle Street's a major street, and it's past my knees and almost up to my hips, that depth. I'm sorry, I'm walking the middle of the street, right, wrong, or whatever, until we get some recognition, because that's not the only place. That's just a point that you guys can go reference. It's still there. It hasn't went down that much. But that's how severe, give you a severe one. I have talked to some other people, and hopefully I've been inviting people to come speak at city council like I am. So hopefully we'll get more people here and partake and voice their concerns. And my thing is to start driving people to come to Fostoria and see the sights, go to the shops, spend their money. And I would like to see that maybe Best Western gets some kind of acknowledgement because they're the main hotel that anybody could stay in. I mean, we need to drive people here. That's basically all I have to say right now, but I'm glad to be back.
All right, thank you. At this time, we'll open it up to other members of the public that wish to speak this evening. We just ask that you state your name for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less.
Paul Allison, 118.5 West Center Street, Apartment 2. I'm just going to mention, I handed out to the mayor and the law director that the regular meeting of the Fostoria Records Commission is, which normally would be scheduled on the 19th, is now on the 26th. I think I've explained the Records Commission, but I see we have a new member of council which probably doesn't know about what the Records Commission does. The Records Commission is composed of the auditor, the law director, and the mayor, and one citizen member who happens to be the secretary, myself, and we dispose of obsolete records from the various city departments, all 15 or so, maybe more. I've forgotten exactly how many city departments there are any longer, but our meeting is this coming, not this, the 19th, it's the 26th, and if anybody has any records to be disposed of, please come to the meeting and we will consider the matter. Now, the other thing I'd like to talk about is one of my pet peeves, which is now one of the categories on the wonderful categories, is cleaning the sidewalks. Now, I didn't go out much during the bad weather. I'm a little old for going out any longer. But I did notice on the alley that goes behind my apartment, now the city plowed the alley. But what happened was on the sidewalk on Main Street on each side, when they cleaned the sidewalks, the people cleaned the sidewalks. Well, when they plowed it back. There was a part there that was on the sidewalk, and it was about this high because the people didn't come back out and clean that part off. Now, I walked over it, but I hate to say this, I'm not as spry as I used to be, and I walked over it very carefully. And but people need to make sure that now obviously the alley needs to be plowed, and you plow it, and there's on each side there will be some snow, but the people who supposed to be the persons who own the properties didn't come out and take that part off. Now, of course, I hate to say this. Many years ago, when we had a downtown associates, I mentioned to them that maybe the city should just hire somebody to clean the entire downtown. And they said, well, we can't afford that. And I said, well, most days or most winters, you won't have any snow. The winter before this, we had practically no snow, so it won't cost you much, and it would be a lot easier than relying upon the people to clean their sidewalks, because we have a lot of vacant lots any longer, and people just don't always clean them. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Paul, quick question for you. What time is that Records Commission meeting? Paul, what time is that Records Commission meeting on the 26th?
26, 2
At
o'clock, Thursday,
o'clock?
26th at 2 p.m.
Okay, thank you. I missed the time, so,
It's coming Thursday.
all right, thank you.
Normally it would be on the 19th, but the weather and so forth, I didn't get around to scheduling it until.
That's fine.
the 26th.
Thank you.
Rebecca Kimball, address is on the paper. I want to bring up chapter 1307, but I'm going to skip through a lot because I only have 3 minutes. So I'm not going to go over the definitions. But chapter 1307 is the registration of vacant buildings. We will jump down to 1307.02, duties of owner. And I want to focus on 2, which is all building exteriors shall have adequate weather protection, including paint, siding, and or similar finishes in good condition. In the pictures that I have passed out that you guys have got to look at, you can see at 722 Cherry Street, that is not the case. Number 3, all buildings and grounds must be secured against trespassers and rodents. This includes maintaining all exterior doors, windows, yards, fencing in good and secured condition. No boards, plywood, or similar means or materials may be used to secure windows and doors. Doors and or windows that are deemed insecure shall be secured by their replacement with similar new doors or window units equipped with locking hardware. Rodents are definitely getting in 722 because you can see the siding's gone. They're crawling under the crawl space. I went over to separate 2 cats from fighting. One went in the crawl space and up. So clearly it's going in the house. On to 4. Roofs on buildings shall be in good weather-tight conditions. If you see on 733 Cherry Street, if you notice, this was a house that had caught on fire. The chimney is completely gone. There is soot in all those windows. And so that ain't been done. Any accumulated trash or debris must be removed from the property immediately. Both at 722 and 733, there has been weeds that were left undone, all summer to the winter. So now they're the brown weeds that are waist high or even bigger. They look like big brush out there. All right, I'll skip on to under registrations required. I'm going to focus on 1. The owner of a vacant building shall register the building with the zoning inspector and maintain the registration up to date. And we'll skip down to 4. The owner shall inspect the property at least 1 time each month on the interior and exterior of the property to verify that the requirements of this section and codified ordinance of the city and other applicable laws are being met. A written report of such inspections shall be provided to the city upon request. Now, these 2 homes at 722 and 733 are owned by Billy Sayre. The thing that has me upset is the house at 722. He purchased it back in 2021. And he got it for $15,000. I know because I know the owner that left because I live on Cherry Street and this house used to be my mother's aunt's house. So it goes way back to the early 1900s. He's let it go. Why did he buy it when there's people out here who are suffering, looking for homes, looking for places to rent? And you have him and you have Wade and Pamela VZ Investment Properties. They also bought a crap ton of houses in Fostoria. They don't fix stuff. In fact, the blue house at 710 Cherry Street is owned by the VZ Properties, either Pamela or Wade or both. And that house, they tore out the porch, but if you see in the backyard in the pictures, there's antifreeze. Jugs of antifreeze and other debris, but the antifreeze has me livid because we all know about stray cats in this town and they're everywhere. And I have fixed one, and after April, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to fix another one because I'm sure the new one that came is now knocked up. But I'm doing what I can, and I'm on a fixed income. I'm fighting for Social Security, so I don't have much, but I'm trying. And these pictures that I sent you, I also sent you a picture of the sidewalk in front of 710, which I'm pretty sure it's us, the property owners, to at least try to repair it. And I've watched a child that goes to probably kindergarten fall on that sidewalk 2 or 3 times. And it breaks my heart because it shouldn't be happening. Furthermore, I'm trying to hurry and move along. I want to move on down the paper into the penalty. Any persons who violates any provisions of this chapter of the rules and regulations issued shall be guilty of a special misdemeanor and fine not less than $200 and not more than $1,000 for each offense. Every day that a violation continues shall constitute a separate, distinct offense. Further, the Director of Law of the City of Fostoria is authorized to take civil action on behalf of the city in addition to the penalties provided in this section. Yeah, I have a serious issue with the houses down there that are being left, whatever. And then there's the house at 740, the yellow house I showed you guys pictures of. That house has plywood on all the windows and has for over the 6 years that I've lived there. That house is, it should be demolished because they told me there was a fire inside of it and the walls are caving in. But yet they got time and money to build a new outer building out there and take care of the garden. Thank God they do mow their yard, but they don't take care of the trees and brush in front of that house that grow out in front of that sidewalk that little kids have to walk down. So that is my issue with those 3 houses. Now, on the house that was finally tore down on my street, thank you. However, in the picture, you will see tires. And when I say tires, that's an abundance of tires, which means mosquito haven. And if my dogs get heartworm, you aren't going to like me. I promise to God. Like, I love my animals more than I do people. I'm sorry, but I do. They're innocent. And I made it quick. And I know I didn't get to touch on the railroad thing because I know my time's up, but I'll be back next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then you wanted these pictures, Ms. Kimball.
Forward it on to zoning. Give it to the
So
zoning office.
we'll, when they're done looking at them, we'll give them to you, Eric, to give to zoning. All right, perfect. So if you guys haven't had a chance to look at the color pictures of all the properties she took, please look at those and then make sure Eric gets them at the end of the night.
So I just had a question. Have you talked to zoning about any of this?
I talked to zoning about a lot of the properties back when Eric was in that area. It's just a matter of getting a hold of them. And a lot of times they don't return your calls.
Okay.
I wish they would actually come to the council meetings. It would make it a lot easier.
Just to make you aware, there is a zoning complaint form that is on the main page of the city's website that you can, I refer people within my ward that are having problems to that. You can complete that and submit it to the zoning department, and they generally will get back to you with a response once they've had an opportunity to.
Sitting there rotten, and it's just, I'm trying to better mine, and it's never going to. The value's gonna go down looking at that. I mean, I'm still thankful that you guys finally got rid of that house, though.
Thank you very much. Are there any other members of the public that wish to address council this evening? All right, seeing none, we'll move into old business.
An ordinance to adopt, excuse me, pursuant to section 911.01-911.02 of the codified ordinances of the city of Fostoria, Ohio, the petition to vacate a portion of Roby Court in the 3rd ward of the city of Fostoria.
Move to adopt.
Second,
We have a motion by Mendoza, a second by Cassidy to adopt. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Hodak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
yes,
Baker,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Excuse me,
That-
yes.
That passes. It becomes ordinance number 2026-07. 07. Thank you.
A resolution authorizing the disposal of personal property, motor vehicles, road machinery, equipment, tools, or supplies which are not needed for public use or are obsolete or unfit to be sold by internet auction in calendar year 2026 and declaring an emergency to exist.
Move to adopt.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Lehman, a second by Baker to adopt. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
yes,
Baker,
Yes.
Mendoza, Guernsey.
Yes.
All right, that carries. It's resolution number 2026-08. 08. Thank you.
A resolution amending Resolution number 2023-45 by amending the job description and salary range for the position of full-time appointed or hourly contracted Director of Finance for the City of Fostoria, Ohio, and declaring an emergency to exist.
That is the second reading of that resolution. And that concludes old business. We'll move into new business.
An ordinance adopting and amending ordinance number 2025-83, permanent 2026 appropriations by appropriating from unappropriated funds in the general fund and revolving loan fund and declaring an emergency to exist.
Just an acknowledgement that there is a typo on that document. We've had the first reading this evening. We'll need the finance director here to clarify.
Okay.
So we can expect to make an amendment at the second reading.
All right. That was the first reading of that, and we'll await the clarification after the finance director for an amendment. Thank you.
A resolution approving and ratifying the prior acts of the department heads and safety service director and approving then and now certificates for said expenditures and declaring an emergency.
That is the first reading of that ordinance.
An ordinance enacting new section 1125.13 of chapter 1125 of the codified ordinances of the city of Fostoria, Ohio, entitled Portable Storage Containers.
That was the first reading of that ordinance.
An ordinance renumbering and amending section 371.14 of chapter 371 of the codified ordinances of the city of Fostoria, Ohio, entitled Low Speed Micromobility Devices.
That is the first reading of that ordinance.
An ordinance authorizing the city of Fostoria to participate in the BFI Waste Services Class Action Settlement and declaring an emergency to exist.
That's the first reading of that ordinance.
An ordinance authorizing the city of Fostoria to participate in the PVC Pipe Antitrust Class Action Settlement against Oil Price Information Service, LLC, OPIS, and declaring an emergency to exist.
That is the first reading of that ordinance. And concludes new business. Oh, no, there's one more. Sorry, on the next page. You're good.
Thank you.
Sorry.
You scared me.
One more.
An ordinance establishing the position of full-time Assistant Safety Service Director for the city of Fostoria, Ohio, and declaring an emergency to exist.
Right, and that is the first.
Discussion, please.
Sure.
I need some clarification on one thing. Just today, I was looking at, I see that there is a salary range on here. And am I correct that if someone were to come into this position and they didn't previously hold this position, they would be paid at the lower rate, the lowest rate listed?
Yeah, based on the amount of
Okay, so, because typically, the way the other compensation is in those groups, the larger hourly rate would be the base, and then they step down at like 10% and 5%. And so I'm guessing that this is structured somewhat the same way, and that if someone were to move in that, what I'm trying to figure out is what kind of a pay increase it would be. Do you see where I'm going with that? Would the person be compensated at the lower rate?
Yeah, the person would start.
Okay, and then they would advance over time. That's all I'm asking for a clarification on. Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion on that? Seeing none, that is the first reading of that ordinance. Is there any need to go into executive session this evening? Does anyone have any miscellaneous business this evening? I do have a piece of miscellaneous business I just want to make you all aware of before you see it publicly, is I have become a nominee on the 5th Congressional District ballot for the Democrat position, so I will be running on the Democrat primary for the 5th Congressional District, and that primary elections on May 5th. So you will see my name, and that is indeed me. So that way you're not surprised or if it's some other Brian Shaver out there. So it is me. Just wanted to let you guys know that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Any other miscellaneous business? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Lehman, a second by Cassidy. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Kodak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned, and my phone just died, so what time is it? That's not right.
It's 30.
At 6:31.